Today on CityCast Chicago, once all of them fireworks and the NASCAR engines are out of here, we still got plenty of things to do this month in Chicago. That's why we're bringing you our guide to July. It's Tuesday, July 1st. I'm Jacoby Cochran, and this is what Chicago's talking about. Welcome. If you're new here to CityCast Chicago, we are the daily podcast talking about all things Chicago. And when I say that, I mean it. We do our damnedest to talk about all things across all neighborhoods. I'm talking newest restaurants. I'm talking TV shows that represent the city, political dramas that feel like TV most of the time. What's going on with all the acronyms? You know what I'm talking about. CTA, CPS, CPD, CHA. We do all that while also giving you some local tips, some basic tips you need to maybe stay cool, have fun this summer. We try around here, and we're doing that every single day in your feeds, in your inboxes, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, for the free. I'm gonna repeat that last part for the new people, for the free. Every single month, we like to bring in our friends, bring in the CityCast Chicago team to look forward to this month. And this month, we've got digital creator Paige Serena in the building. Welcome back, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me again.
Hey, we're so happy to have you in the building. And when I say we, that's because we've also got executive producer Simone Alicea with us. Simone, what's good, my friend?
Hey, Jacoby, I'm all right. How are you?
I'm not out here complaining. 4th of July weekend is right in front of us. I don't know about y'all, but I haven't heard many fireworks in my neighborhood to this point. When I go to my mom's house, they are starting to pick up a little bit. But I want to know, are y'all over fireworks at this point? Do y'all make that a part of y'all 4th of July weekend? Do y'all get a blanket, go outside? Are y'all looking for them? Paige, I'm going to start with you. Fireworks, yay, nay?
I'm in the middle. I don't mind them. I do kind of enjoy it. I actually live really close to the lake. So a lot of times I do catch fireworks just on the Wednesdays and Saturdays just because I'm there. Mm-hmm. My thing is, after July 5th, wrap it up. We have to be done after. I get it because it's exciting. It is fun. It's like a commemorative summer thing. But after the 5th, I'm hearing firecrackers and poppers everywhere, and I don't want to hear it anymore. Mm-hmm. So I just think we need an expiration date.
Yeah, I'm starting to get into Unk territory, so I can't completely hate it, because last year there was a bunch of little cousins, little family members, and it was at the point where they was like, you got a lighter? You got a lighter? You got some rockets in your pocket? What you got? You got some poppers? Kobe, what you got? Can you help us? And so I can't completely check out, but I don't feel like a few years ago I was excited to go to Promontory Point to watch the fireworks. Mm-hmm. But as I'm looking at all of the places they're available this year, I don't think I'm gonna be moving, making any plans to go see fireworks. What about you, Simone?
I want to like fireworks. I really do. I there is something that is so basic about humanity where it's like, ooh, look, shiny thing exploding in the sky. Uh-huh. You know what I mean?
And I love when they get fancy. There's a design, right? When it's there's a choreography to it.
I love the flip side too, where you got the kids who they just want to set something on fire. And I get that. And I respect that on a level, but also it's loud and it's annoying and it makes the air quality worse. And it makes all my friends have pets and all their pets are sad. And I don't like how sad the pets get. And so it's hard. It's hard to love it. I feel very torn about it. I would love to love fireworks. I really would.
But I'm never going to be that person that makes the trip over to Indiana, packs up my trunk with fireworks and bring them back. That was my cousin Marlon. I ain't never going to be that person. But if you are listening and you want to see the fireworks, as Paige mentioned, they do happen at Navy Pier Wednesday and Saturday. But my advice to you would be, honestly, I think going out to the suburb fireworks show, if you really want to see one, might be a little more convenient. Again, if you're not right by the lake.
The skies are darker out there too, so that's also nice.
Girl.
Oak Lawn is going to be on the 4th at Richards High School. Orland Park is going to have them at Centennial Park West on the 4th. They also going to have them out in South Holland, Tinley, up in Skokie, Evanston, and then out west on July 3rd at Palos Heights at 9 at Memorial Park. And so if you are looking for some fireworks show, but you're not trying to make your way into downtown to Navy Pier or go towards the lake, fireworks shows organized by the suburbs those are some good ones. I can't front on those. Let's start off with the things we are excited for. We all seem pretty meh on fireworks. So Paige, what's something you are looking forward to in July?
So I feel like there's so many things that people go to every year. Like there's the Wicker Park Fest, there's the Tacos and Tamales Fest, but I also love, and I think it kind of gets overlooked. Like it's busy, but it's also not busy. But the Millennium Park Film Series is one of my favorites, and they do it all summer long. So it's not just July; that goes into August as well. But they have Love and Basketball on July 22nd, and then going into August, they have Wicked, which I feel like is going to just be crazy that day. But I will be there. I will be first there.
I have a feeling Wicked at Millennium Park might involve some cosplay costumes.
It has to. It has to.
I bet. But imagine just hearing Divine Gravity in Millennium Park. Like it's gonna be great. And they have like the Sandlot. They have Harry Potter. Like I love that. I think that's one of my favorite things to do in the summer. Actually, all those free activities, sitting in the park, it's just like such a vibe. And I always tell people, I'm like, people come to Chicago looking for like a ton of nightlife and stuff like that. But I'm like, have you just tried sitting in the park with a glass of wine? Like it's great. So that's honestly what I'm most looking forward to.
That was going to be one of my big tips, which is enjoying the parks, which I'm going to talk about some other events then. But starting tonight, The Sandlot is playing during the Millennium Park Film Series. You mentioned Harry Potter, Goblet of Fire, celebrating 20th anniversary Tuesday, July 8th, celebrating its 25th anniversary, Love and Basketball, July 22nd. You do got to wait till August for Wicked, but hey, the Grand Budapest Hotel will close out the month on Tuesday, July 29th. And so not only is Millennium Park Film Series, but you still got Chicago Park District's movies in the park that are happening throughout the summer. And so, yeah, don't sleep on those. Don't sleep on those. Simone, what's something you're really looking forward to this month?
Well, so see, the real thing I'm looking forward to is a couple of my classmates at the painting class that I take are doing an exhibition of their work.
Ooh,
and I am really excited to hang out and go see it. Unfortunately, I have to gatekeep that. It's a bit of a private event. But I do have an arts event that I can share with the listeners. The Renegade Craft Fair is going to be back in Logan Square, July 19th through the 20th, I think, on Kedzie. Renegade started here in Chicago back, way over 20 years ago at this point, and now they do events all across the country, and it is just a really cool, if you've never been, sometimes they post up at Lala too, or they post up at a lot of these other fairs and events that are happening around Chicago, but it is a really cool collective of artists just doing cool creative stuff. So definitely check that out. I think they're doing another event in Chicago in August or September as well. They do quite a few usually throughout the season, but they're going to be in Logan in July.
That reminds me of a couple things. The Chicago Artisan Market this month is happening at Fulton Market on July 13th. But also, I want to give a shout out to the Chicago Craft Club, the Chi-City Craft Club. They have meetups every single month. And this month, on the 6th, they've got Beaded Plants at Home Comedy Theater. On the 11th, they're doing stamp making. They're doing charm accessories on the 16th at Cafe Flamingo. Beaded embroidery in Wicker Park on the 24th. And then they have a making meet at Humboldt Park on Saturday, July 26th. And then their last event, or one of their last events of the month, is rug hooking and needle punch. And so if you're interested, Simone, in taking, some of your crafting from just hitting the markets, but also getting a little hands-on, then maybe check out the Chi-City Craft Club. They seem like a good group. All their pictures seem really nice.
We love that. There was an article in the Sun-Times recently about how granny hobbies are sort of surging in Chicago. So there's like a lot of people playing mahjong and doing crafts and looking for like non-screen kind of collective, quiet stuff to do together.
I'm laughing at these granny hobbies because I'm like, this has been a year of some like really mellow hobbies for me this year.
Is this recession core?
I think it might. I gotta share the article with you guys because I've been obsessed with it since it came out. But apparently there's like actual statistics, like Eventbrite has put out like that they've had nationwide searches for mahjong were up 365% on Eventbrite in 2024.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
The thing I am most looking forward to this month is the 20th anniversary exhibition and celebration of the Southside Home Movies Project. This has been one of my favorite events to go to a couple of times over the last few years. And it's this large collection that I think spans something like 70 years of just home movies that have been collected from Southsiders. And they're going to put on an exhibition at the Logan Center at the University of Chicago, and it opens July 11th and goes through August 24th. Not only can you go see some of the footage, go through some of the archives, but they're going to also have some other events as well, including digital storytelling initiatives, Mothering on Screen, a part of their film series. They're going to watch Down in the Delta, directed by Maya Angelou, have a discussion afterwards. They're also going to play that alongside the Lynette Frazier collection. And these are home movies from the 50s and the 60s that Frazier took of her family across Greater Grand Crossing. They have a 16 millimeter filmmaking workshop with Thomas Comerford this month, Friday, July 19th. I really enjoy going and watching. Some of the films are silent. Some of them have audio. It's just people in the backyard cooking, playing basketball, catching the train, talking with their grandparents in a living room full of furniture covered in plastic. It feels like your time traveling when you sit in that auditorium. And I'm really excited to see what they do with the exhibition.
So it's on like a big screen?
Many of the events happen inside of a small theater, but I think the exhibition, I think there will be multiple screens playing films throughout. All right, so we've got the things we're really excited for, but do we have a tip for people on how to get through July? Simone, I'm gonna start with you. What's a tip you want to put people on?
Okay, I have 3.
Okay, that is very good. I like that. You came prepared.
Yeah, I did. Just because I have a few things I want to talk about. Number 1, Pride in Chicago does not end in June. Both in the grander sense of, we should always be talking about LGBTQ history and what's going on, but also in the sense that we still have some big events that are happening here in July. So a big one, Pride Southside, is going to be at the DuSable Museum. That's happening on July 5th. So that's happening this weekend. We also have Chicago Black Pride. That's a bit more of like a series of parties that is happening. I think there's also going to be a party at the Promontory that's like the Block Party, BLOQ party. And so those are ones that these are like ticketed events that are, a little more, it's not like a big like outdoor parade necessarily or something like that. My second tip, July 1st means new laws have going into effect here in Illinois. I remember we talked about how lawmakers had to close a giant budget gap. Well, all those tax increases that they used to close that budget are going into effect as of today. A gas tax increase. We've got a sports betting tax increase. New hotel taxes that are applying to Airbnb and Vrbo. A tobacco tax increase. We've also got the minimum wage is being raised. It's now up to $16.60 an hour in Chicago, and that's $12.62 for tipped employees as the sub minimum wage also raises. And then my very last tip is a traffic corner. Traffic and transportation. Number 1, you're definitely going to want to avoid downtown this weekend for NASCAR. That race happening over the course of July 4th weekend. And of course, already we're seeing road closures and things like that. But also we've got Lolla that starts at the end of the month. So you're going to want to avoid downtown again at the end of July because it's going to be super crowded. But
unless you're pulling up for those, right? Unless NASCAR is a part of your weekend, which, hey, I've been hearing they might be moving to San Diego after this year. And so
what? Is that real?
I've been that's been word on the streets, is that this 3-year with a 2-year option, we may not be seeing those options, and they may be busting out to the West Coast where they can guarantee themselves some sunshine on this weekend, because as you know, first 2 years have been rained out. And so
it was a sign.
Right. That's good. That sounds like good news for us. But if you're gonna be missing NASCAR, I feel for you.
If you liked it, yes. If you liked it, but yes, if you're like me and you're just trying to get through Chicago, those are 2 weekends where downtown's going to be crazy.
I think in the same vein of knowing where, it's important to not only know when music festivals are happening for the things you want to go to, but in the same vein of this traffic. I don't know, like if you didn't realize last month that the Puerto Rican festival was happening for 4 days, you might have not have known that there was a huge car caravan that was going to be happening pretty much all Saturday, all Sunday. And so tap in to not only the festivals that are happening for Traffic, but I also think United Center, the Bulls and the Hawks aren't playing, but Tyler, the Creator, going to be there. Keisha Cole is coming at the end of this week. Windy City Smokeout is happening there. Blackpink will be at at Soldier Field mid-July.
That's
and so
gonna be crazy.
I think, even if you're not, always in downtown, there are a lot of festivals happening this month across neighborhoods.
Maybe a better tip is just budget for time in general for travel. Like it's going to be slow. If you're traveling anywhere on the weekend, it's going to be slow. Something's going on somewhere on your route. Just assume that's going to happen.
And if you try to speed up when you get the gaps, I will remind you that there are 2 new speed cameras that's going to start ticketing on July 15th. And at the end of the month, we have 5 new speed cameras. So, things may be slow. And so you might be thinking, oh, I'll go faster when it clears up. But just remember, a total of 7 new speed cameras are popping up this month.
Just chill. Just budget the time. Just relax.
One of my tips is I actually tell this like during all of the year, but I always say like have your fun during the week. I've started to do a lot more things during the week and chill on the weekends when all the tourists come. One, you avoid some traffic. Things are not as congested during the week, so you can really just enjoy things with like Chicagoans, which is why I love how many like the Tuesday at the Terrace at like the MCA. It's a great event, and it's generally just very local. And I love the local events and that local feel. So I always do opt for something during the week.
No, that's an absolute great tip. We've given a few summer restaurant series that are happening on the weekend, but there are also a few that are happening during the week as well. I know there's a new happy hour series that's taking place at Art Is in River North. Miyagi Records has a music series that they've been doing weekly. Even this month, things like Grown Folks Stories, Big Kids Show. There are a lot of good events that are taking place on the week. And I know motivation may not be at the top of mind when you're getting out of work, but put something on your calendar.
Yeah, I also think that applies to like fests too, of right, maybe you go on the Thursday or Friday instead of on Saturday, right, when everybody's going. One last piece of thing, good news, Northside Red Line stations are going to be opening July 20th. Those of us who live on the north side have been living through it. That's Argyle, Lawrence, and Berwyn are going to be opening back up on July 20th. They've been closed for years for the Red Line modernization project. The new Argyle station, I have to say, is looking pretty cool. Very cool design on the lights. We don't have the old Asia on Argyle sign up, but we have a new one, and it's pretty. I think I'm okay with it. The stations do look pretty. Mm-hmm. Smells like new station smell. I'm excited for it. Those are my 3 big tips in my little traffic corner for July.
I love that.
Yeah, the other event that I missed it, I think it was in May, and it's my favorite thing to do, is the Crosstown Classic every year. Like I love going to the Sox and the Cubs play each other. I feel like it's kind of underrated. Like I think people know about it, but I still think it's kind of underrated. It's so much fun. So it's going on this July, the 25th, the 27th. So.
And that's at Sox Park this time around.
So. Yes, the better park. Yes. Go Sox. Go Sox.
I do got to give credit where credit is due, though. And the Cubs are having a damn good year thus far. They are number 1 in the National League Central right now. And so I want to give credit where credit is due. The Crosstown Classic, I'm very excited for it. It is on the south side. But, we might get mopped. We might get mopped in similar results to the one earlier this year.
It's okay. It's all Chicago. I go for whatever team at this point.
I was going to say it's all love, but I would have choked those words back. Mine is going to be don't sleep on free events at the parks this month, in line with what Paige was saying earlier. Like just getting out there, glass of wine, your own little picnic. The juice is worth the squeeze. Now, we do have some great paid events in parks this month as well. Chosen Few House Music Festival is celebrating 35 years at Jackson Park. But when I'm thinking being in the park, free summer, DuSable Museum has the Do Summer Free Music Series on the lawn on the 10th and the 24th. We already talked about movies out at Millennium Park, but again, check your local parks for the summer film series. You also got Barrio Arts Fest in Humboldt Park, also at the Puerto Rican History Museum on July 12th. And so, I think we publish a lot of Chicago library, a lot of Chicago park events on our chicago.citycast.fm website. But I would suggest also checking in on the events that are taking place in the parks nearby where you live, because it may be a music festival, it may be an arts festival, it may be a movie being played. So that's my quick tip for you. Don't sleep on the parks this July. What is something that you all are excited to eat and drink this year? What is something y'all are excited to eat and drink this month?
One thing.
Paige, I'll start with you. What's something you're looking forward to eating this month?
Yeah, I think everyone kind of got wind of all of like the dinner parties that Sportsman's Club does and Spilt Milk, but I'm so excited. I've never been to Mira before. It's like an Indian Mexican, I think, kind of fusion, and they're doing their pop-up at Sportsman's Club on July 20th. So I'm really excited for that. I feel like that's always like a great event. I love Sportsman's Club. Like those kind of events are like my favorite things to do in the summer. So I'm excited to try them. And it's always approachable. Like I always recommend doing those because sometimes you can't get into the restaurant, you can't get a reservation, but you know if you get there on time, it's $25, something like that. And it's always, it's always a good time.
Our newsletter editor, Emmy Mack, put together a list of various summer pop-ups happening around Chicago that fit just in this thing. And I totally agree, Paige. It is like a cool way to, because Mira is one of those, like, they came up on so many best of lists. Yes. Like they were on our, like, one of the best meals of the year. It is a really, really hot spot and can be tough to get into.
I have been. It is so good.
Although, to be fair, those sportsman pop-ups also get really, really, really busy.
Very quickly, too.
But totally agree that it is a great way to experience those different restaurants. And I'll drop a link to Emmy's article too in the show notes because there are a lot of them going on this summer, and there are some really, really exciting ones.
Yeah, and for drinks, there's a new place called Friends of Friends. I've not been there yet, but I want to try them out. So I've heard really good things, but I haven't been. So I'm going to try them out this month, I think.
Simone, what about you? What is something you are looking forward to eating and drinking this month?
I got to tell you, Jacoby, I have a group of friends that's trying to get together to go to the Renaissance Fair, the Bristol Renaissance Fair, which
my gosh,
is at it's not quite Wisconsin. It's not quite Illinois. It's very much at the border. Mm-hmm. And my thing, last year I went for the very first time. I'd never been to a Ren Fair before. And as soon as we got there, a friend bought me a pickle on a stick. And boy, that was so refreshing. It was perfect. It was exactly what I wanted. And I am really looking forward to going and having another pickle on a stick. That is what I want.
Is it simply a pickle with a stick punched through it?
It's a massive pickle. It's a big old pickle and it's on a stick. And you eat it like a corn dog. And it's delicious. It's refreshing and fantastic. Everyone's always talking about the big turkey legs, right? When they go to Ren Fair, everyone wants it. I don't trust meat that large cooked in a festival setting. I'm sure it's fine. People love it. Pickle, I know it's going to be good. Pickle on a stick at Ren Fair.
So when I was thinking about things I wanted to eat or drink, I was thinking about some of the great food festivals that are happening in the city that I didn't get to last year, like Chinatown Summer Fair, Tacos y Tamales. But I think the thing I'm most excited to eat this year comes from ETC.
This month or this year?
I keep saying this goddamn year. I think the thing...
Well, every month feels like a year
it really does.
In 2025.
It really does.
The thing I'm most excited to finally try this month is from ETC, and it's their oxtail and grits, the heirloom purple grits, the braised oxtail, and the crispy onions. I've been wanting to get over there for the last couple of months. And so on top of the food fest, I do think that's one restaurant I'm going to sit down at. And then the drink I'm most excited for, I don't actually know the drink yet, but the place is Meadowlark in Logan Square. And the thing I love about Meadowlark is it's about 30 seats. It's very comfortable. It doesn't feel pretentious despite the drinks being very elevated, the bartenders like really knowing their stuff, but they serve a group of cocktails for an entire year. And a couple of years ago, the cocktails were Field Guide Volume 1 Birds of the Midwest, and they had drinks like the Purple Finch and the Prairie Warbler and the Mockingbird and the Chicago Pigeon. Their most recent series was started in summer 2024, was the composition book, volume 1, Childhood Activities for Grown-Ups. And they had first day of school, recess, pool party, sleepover. Last week, they finally introduced their new series, and it's called Ad Astra to the Stars. And each drink, I think, is inspired by something cosmic. It isn't up on their website yet, but they do have a picture of all of them on their Instagram that people can see. Shimmering Stardust, Fiery Craters, Galactic Hues. I think those are a couple of the names. Have either of y'all been to Meadowlark yet?
Yes, I went when they first opened, like back in 2022 when they had the bird collection. And I thought that was permanent. Like I thought it was going to be like that. I thought that was just their menu because it's called Meadowlark. I'm like, this is really cool place. And I have not been back since I think 2023. So I have not seen, I missed the childhood one last year, but I definitely want to go check out. I didn't realize they were doing that. It's really dope. But then also when you go to ETC, you have to get the catfish dip.
Okay.
That was, to me, better than the oxtail and grits was the catfish dip.
Catfish dip. So
Yes.
you're talking like a cheesy,
Yes.
like with
Yes.
bread? Is that the...
Yeah, it was with bread and then also like this like chip kind of thing. It had like a few different things with it, but
Chilled Mississippi catfish dip, smoked catfish, cream cheese, and fried crackers.
Yes.
Come on.
That on a hot day, I could really get behind that.
Pretty unreal.
I'm gonna be real with you, Paige. We don't bring you here for the guests. We bring you here for us, selfishly, so that we can siphon off all of these ideas. I want to give a huge thank you to our guests today. Of course, we've got executive producer Simone Alisea in the building with us.
Hey, thanks, Jacoby.
And Chicago creator Paige Serena, thank you for joining us again.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun.
Before we get out of here, make sure you bookmark our website, chicago.citycast.fm. There you can catch up on the latest episodes, read our articles, which are updating almost every single day. Just go and check it out. Go and check it out. Like every single day, I want to leave you with some good news. And my good news for this entire month is get your Sky tickets early because they've got 6 home games this month. The most so far this season, including fun ones against the Wings. We got 2 at home against the Lynx, the Dream, the Fever coming to town. Hey, the team is still 5-11, currently on the holiday break. This could be a big month for our playoff hopes and chances. So if you can, show up to the games. Again, 6 home games this month. I'm gonna be out there my damn self. All right. As always, I appreciate you for listening and reading. We're gonna be back bright and early tomorrow talking about barbecue in the city. I'm gonna talk to you tomorrow. Peace. And so,
Jacoby, you keep saying beaded as in beads, and I keep
Beaded.
thinking you're saying beat it.
yeah, as in
like
Michael Jackson. Yeah, I
Yes.
understand. No, I'm saying beat it, but beaded. No, beat it. Beaded plants. Beaded embroidery.